what's up, everybody? Welcome to this week's episode of the B3 podcast. I'm your host, Brett. I have Tanner the Head here with me. This is our week 5, right?
Yep.
No, week 6. Week 6 college picks.
Yes.
Yes.
You're right.
Last week, what did we all get? I think we got them all right, except I got fucked on that Minnesota game.
Minnesota should have had a chance, at least to try.
Yeah, dude, they were like scoring at will.
Yeah.
So
For the year, I'm still kicking your ass.
yeah, well, anyway. So let's talk about the Nebraska fucking Purdue game.
Okay. Let's talk about it.
So I get a text from Tanner after the game. See, they're a second half team.
That was a joke.
I know, because they need to be a fucking full.
Yes. That was sarcasm. What text did you get at halftime from me? This is the worst fucking game I've ever seen in my life.
No, I think Matt initiated that. Matt said this is a fucking terrible game to watch right now.
Here's the thing. It's one of those games that I would never thought we were going to lose. Because we were moving the ball. They weren't.
Except at halftime.
I didn't think we were going to lose.
Man, I did not feel good about that at halftime, being 0-0 like that.
I don't know. I kind of watch. I mean, the flow of the game, we outgained them like 200 yards to like 65 yards in the first half. Like they couldn't do anything.
But neither could Nebraska.
Well, we were inside their 35 like 4 times.
Well, I know. But all those yards and you don't score.
I know.
We can't kick a fucking field goal. Neither can they, luckily.
Yeah.
I mean, they got that touchdown and then they got that pick when Nebraska scored 14 points in like
35 seconds.
30. I was going to say like 30 seconds. I don't know. This week, there's nothing real crazy. I don't know. I had my good upset pick last week and I kind of got fucking boned. In the Minnesota game. God. They should have fucking won that game because they were scoring at will on Michigan too.
Yeah. Well, Michigan plays Washington.
That one is kind of a weird one. And USC plays at Minnesota.
Yeah.
And Minnesota played pretty good, and Michigan beat USC. So
Completely different, but yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to be completely different games.
yeah.
Michigan won against USC throwing for 36 passing yards.
Yeah.
They don't have a very good forward pass game.
Yeah. I guess we didn't talk about our show partners. We kind of got right into it.
Yeah, we did.
We have our show partners, Elite Nutrition. Check them out at elitenutritionomaha.com. Use code B3 at checkout or go to the store in Omaha or Lincoln and yell B3.
Get a free shaker.
How are the rides in the Cybertruck going? Has anybody asked him for one yet?
I don't think so.
Everybody asked Steve for a ride in the Cybertruck. We also have Rosewood Block to make the best cutting boards and barbecue. Check them out at rosewoodblock.com. Use code B3 at checkout there as well. And I would assume if you're wanting Christmas stuff, I would start paying attention to their website. Because, yeah.
Order now.
Yeah. They get pretty booked up.
Well, and it's very high quality, all hand done. Like this isn't something that they can just run through a factory.
Yeah.
So
And like you see the one that we have on our table, if you're watching us on the YouTubes, this has the epoxy fill. You don't have to do the epoxy fill. You can do just the engraving.
Yeah.
Is yours just the engraving?
Yep.
Yours is on the side though, isn't it?
Yeah, it's on the front.
Yeah. I have one at home that's just engraved. I have another one that's epoxy filled.
Yeah.
So yeah, that is an option if you customize. I just like the epoxy fill on the top part because you don't get like stuff stuck in it. Like when it's easier to clean and whatnots.
Yep.
But anyway, check out all those guys. So this week's pick, and then Nebraska, do they have a bye week?
And next week, yeah.
Yeah. Or no, they play Indiana and then have a bye week.
Nope.
No?
Pretty sure they have a bye week and then they play Indiana.
Okay. So tonight's game, Michigan State at Oregon. We're not doing points, obviously, but Oregon is picked by 24.
Yeah, I'm going to pick Oregon.
Yeah, Michigan State's pretty bad.
Yeah, they're not good.
No. I don't think Oregon should have any problem. And Oregon has like always been a high-scoring team.
Yeah, they're a little bit off this year, but they're still damn good.
Yeah. So we both got Oregon. I don't think that's it. Do you think they'll cover the points? I know we don't do points, but you'll think they'll beat them by 24?
The problem with 24 is they could be up by 28. They could be up by 30, and then Michigan State gets a last, like an end of the end of the game touchdown. I hate that's why I hate those big spreads, because they could be totally getting their ass kicked and then just like backdoor cover with like 2 minutes to go with a meaningless touchdown. You know, like the Purdue touchdown last weekend. It's kind of meaningless. It's not doing anything. It didn't affect the spread, but I mean,
You don't get goose egged at least.
yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Nebraska has a bye week next week, and then they have Indiana because they have 2 bye weeks. They have another one in November after UCLA. They have a bye week.
Before USC, I think.
Yep, they have a bye week then. Then yeah, UCLA at Penn State. Penn State by 27. That's probably for sure because UCLA is bad.
Yeah.
But 27 is still a big spread. Like I said, most of these games are kind of. What do you think Purdue at Wisconsin? Wisconsin's picked by 14.
Wisconsin's not very good. That could be a.
I think it's gonna be closer. Like I said, we're not picking points, but
Yeah.
sometimes what did Wisconsin do last week?
I don't know.
I should have this fucking scores up here.
Last week's scores.
Yeah, let's see what Wisconsin did last week. Because I think sometimes I feel like
Were they off last week?
I think them and Iowa were off last week. I think you're right. So they're coming off that. Because sometimes I feel like those kids in college, like when they come off a fucking beating, they just want to like destroy whoever they play next. And if you have a team that's like equally as bad, who wins that game?
Right.
You have Wisconsin who's had a week off, but can kind of make you kind of rusty sometimes.
Yeah, it gives you a little bit of rest, depending
Yeah.
on where it's at. But
Yeah.
I think we have an advantage having a week off before Indiana. I think 2 weeks to prepare for an offense, it's a little bit different.
Well, then we have Ohio State right after that.
Yep.
Both away games.
Yep.
Nebraska's last home games are Wisconsin,
And UCLA.
UCLA. Yep. I don't know. My gut tells me Wisconsin's going to win over Purdue.
I think Wisconsin's going to win, even though I hate them. I just don't think Purdue's very good.
This one will be an easy one. Iowa at Ohio State. Ohio State's picked by 20. I don't know if they'll put 20. I don't know if they'll win by 20
Where's it at?
at Ohio State. The horseshoe.
Ohio State. If it was at Iowa, I might think about it.
I don't know
Iowa
if they'll
always gets a big upset.
Yeah, I don't know if they'll win by 20. You want to
Yeah.
call it? Is that Iowa going to be your upset team? You going to pick them or not?
No. If it was at Iowa, I would have.
Indiana at Northwestern. Indiana's picked by 13.5.
Northwestern's not very good.
No, I think.
But Indiana hasn't really played anybody besides UCLA.
Yeah, but Northwestern can't beat anybody.
Yeah. We're going to
But-
go.
I'm going Indiana.
Yep.
We'll come back to that one. Michigan at Washington. Washington is picked by 2.5.
Yep.
That's just home field.
A home field and time change.
But I feel like more and more look at these spreads and they just want people to bet. I don't know how much fucking, you know what I mean? Like sometimes I feel like they do it strictly for the betting and they don't even put like,
I told you that. They just want 50-50.
yeah, I mean,
They just wanted close to 50-50.
what's your call on that?
I am going to go with Michigan.
Because Washington just lost to Rutgers.
But Washington had 500 yards of offense in that game. Missed 3 field goals. doubled Rutgers' yards. It was not like Washington was the better team.
Yeah, let's see. Yeah, was that the Rutgers game? Was that who they played last week?
Yep.
Yeah. It was 21-18.
Yeah. Washington missed 3 field goals, like Nebraska.
What the fuck is going on here? Fucking mic stand. So you got Washington or Michigan?
I got Michigan.
I don't know.
Unless you take Washington, and then I'll take. Unless you take Michigan, then I'll take Washington. I'm taking the opposite.
I was thinking about taking Washington, but
I'm just taking the opposite of you on that one
why?
because we got to have something different, and I could make an argument for either one.
Yeah, I don't know. It can go.
You go ahead and pick. I'll pick the opposite.
No, you already picked Michigan, so fuck off.
I know, but if you pick Michigan, I'm going to pick Washington.
I'll just take Washington then.
Okay.
Even though you're going to be like, fucking, I'm right again.
Have I been wrong yet?
Yes.
Besides Nebraska?
And that one time, I just took straight Big Ten.
Yeah, but I picked big.
And I went out on a fucking limb and almost got it right last week. I had a good gut feeling on that.
There you go. You did. That was a good call.
USC at Minnesota.
I'll let you pick this one first.
I don't know. I think it's going to be USC. USC's picked by 8. It's not cold right now in Minnesota.
No,
That's not in their real favor either.
no.
They're still outdoor, right? Yeah, they're outdoor.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll take USC. And you want to take USC too? I know you do.
Yeah, I'll take USC.
Yeah. All right. Rutgers at Nebraska. The line's gone back and forth. This said 7 when I printed it. I think it went to 6.5 at one point. I don't
It was
know.
at 7.5 at one point too.
Yeah. I can see what it is right now. I already know you're going to say that Nebraska's going to win. I already know that.
Yeah.
Right now, it is at 6.5.
I think we should call points on it too.
Oh, yeah?
I think we should call points in the Nebraska game. We got to have some to separate any kind of tiebreakers.
I just don't know if Nebraska's going to win. Amber gets mad when I root against him. And I'm not rooting against them. That's not what this is. Or she thinks she just does. Amber's like you. She's a fan.
Yeah,
And I am too.
Fan short for fanatic.
I know.
We don't need a bunch of fucking rational thought when we're talking about Nebraska, you pussy. Nebraska will cover. Nebraska would cover 14 in this game.
You know what? I'm going to say the same thing I said in the Illinois game. I said Nebraska can win this game.
But they might lose.
No, I'm going to say I don't know. It's going to be close. The game will be close. I'm going to say it's going to be like a 21-24, but I don't know who.
So you're saying Nebraska no cover?
Yeah, I don't think they'll win by.
Okay, then I'll say Nebraska in a cover.
Yeah, I don't think they'll cover. If they win, obviously I hope they do. Anybody who thinks I don't like Nebraska, I do. I think as what we've seen too, it's like the same team as last year with a better quarterback, a tremendously better quarterback.
Tremendously better quarterback, tremendously better receivers.
Doesn't matter. The offensive line still fucking sucks balls.
No, the offensive line does not suck balls. How much time would you like Dylan Raiola to be able to have in the pocket?
Well, enough
Like
for
an hour?
Well, then enough for our great receivers to get wide open.
That happens a lot. They had no fucking pressure on him.
Okay, then tell me why we're not undefeated.
Well, we're not undefeated because
You have to put points on the board to win.
yes, and we put points on the board.
We have. We're very first half dominant until this last game.
Second half team.
Yeah, but you get what I'm saying. I think Dylan Raiola is a phenomenal quarterback.
He's a top 5 quarterback in the nation.
I don't question his ability at all. I'm just saying we have 7-year offensive linemen except for that one rookie, or one freshman. I call them rookies now because they're getting paid.
Gunnar Katula.
Yeah. These guys are 20-some years old, 25 years old, going against like fucking 19-year-old defensive linemen. These are grown men.
because there aren't any 5th-year defensive players.
There are, 100%. But you get what I'm saying. I mean, dude, a full-grown man offensive lineman in fucking college football.
There are full-grown man defensive linemen in college football too, sir.
There are.
Yeah, we have 2 of them on our team,
There
Ty and Nash. They're full-grown men.
So you think that UNI defensive linemen are just as good as fucking Nebraska's offensive line? UNI is not a FBS school.
I don't.
And UNI got
They
pressure.
scored 3 fucking points.
UNI got pressure, though.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
I mean,
You're one of the only people I talk to that is a huge Husker fan that will not admit that the offensive line is bad.
I don't think the offensive line is that bad.
They're pretty bad.
I don't think they are.
Then what is stopping Nebraska from dominating defenses? It starts at the offensive line.
Well, I mean, they kind of I mean,
You get what I'm saying?
well,
We're not. Nebraska's not. They're not putting up high points. So that means you get what you know what I'm saying. We talked about this. UTEP, UNI. Look at look at these top 5 teams in the country are putting up fucking 60 points on people.
okay. So you just want us to run? If we ran up the score against bad teams, you feel better?
I would, because it teaches you how to keep your foot on the fucking throttle all the time.
Yeah, it's just not rural style, and it's not. I just don't really care. Why do I want to Why do I want to show more of my playbook? Why do I want to do things like that when I don't need to?
Well, we're into the 6th week of the season here.
Yeah, you're getting into the meat and potatoes. You're getting into Indiana. You're getting into Ohio State. You're
Illinois
getting
didn't
into
have our
USC.
playbook, and Rule got outcoached.
I don't know if Rule got outcoached. Our defensive coordinator got outcoached.
But the Illinois coach is good.
Yeah, Brett Bielema is good.
Yeah.
Their defensive coordinator is good. They got us. Now, Lindenmeyer was running wide open in the end zone. Right? We had a 50-50 ball that could have gone our way. We missed a field goal.
There's always ifs and buts.
Yeah, I'm just saying we left a lot of points on the board.
I mean, we had
we
the
need
penalty last week.
Huh?
We had that no-touch penalty last week.
Yeah, if that would have had a touchdown in the first half.
Yeah, that was shitty. But I mean, look at, like I said, the Minnesota game, that onside kick, they got totally fucking boned on.
Yeah.
Now that you see the Big Ten change, what the rule change was,
What?
there's going to be 2 officials on the line to pay attention.
On onside kick.
I guess apparently on kickoffs in general. Which, why don't they have a fucking pylon camera like the NFL does? Like, all you need is the pylon camera right there, and you would have saw that that guy wasn't offsides.
But that's not a reviewable penalty, anyways.
Yeah.
Just like the pick on Fedoni, where he didn't touch him, and they called him offensive pass interference. It's not reviewable. Rule just had that reviewed to that he wasn't past the line of scrimmage. I think just so the ref could see how bad his call was.
Yeah.
Because he was obviously past the line of scrimmage. I think he just wanted to say, "Hey, go look at that again. I want you to know that you suck."
Yeah. I mean, obviously, I'm going to pick Nebraska.
Okay, I'm saying Nebraska to cover, and I think Nebraska would cover by 14 points.
I think it'll be close.
I don't think it'll be
I think
close.
it's going to be a 3-point game.
You know what I'm tired of hearing is that Rutgers has a top 3 red zone defense. Okay, their top 3 red zone defense they were 6 for 11, I think, or something like that. I thought you were looking at a stat. It pretty much all came against Washington last week. Before that, there were 5. The team scored 5 of 6 times in the red zone. It was 83.33%. Like 1 week, and then everyone's like, "It's a top red zone defense." No, it's not. Washington fucked up last week. That's it.
Well, but football's given mistakes. Otherwise, there wouldn't be a game. If no one made mistakes, there'd never be a game.
No, I'm just saying that I don't think they have a top 3 red zone defense. I think it's an inflated stat from one game.
I mean, Nebraska's got a pretty highly ranked defense.
Yeah, and we've played 6 games.
Well, we're going to play our 6th game.
Yeah, we've played 5 games.
Yeah.
And everyone acts like Illinois is like terrible. I mean, it was a top 25 matchup.
I think Illinois is good.
Yeah, 2 teams between like that were ranked two spots apart, and Illinois went and hang with Penn State pretty damn solid.
That's why I said that's one way you talked about. I said it'd be a close game. I said Illinois could win that game.
Yeah, I still think Nebraska should have won it, but that's fine. I said they were probably going to lose one they shouldn't. They'll grab one they should lose. They're probably going to lose one they shouldn't, and they're probably going to grab one they shouldn't. And I'm still saying that might. I'm not really worried about Indiana. Like, our defense is made for spread teams. Like, I'm not really worried about USC. I'm not. Like, I think we actually match up better with them than we. Like, Iowa worries me more than USC does.
I mean, and that's just always like a rivalry game. Anyway, I was always going to play well. Granted, we did beat them last time, and we played at Kinnick.
Yeah, they beat us last year in
Memorial Stadium. Yeah. But it depends on, because sometimes if it's cold, it's like 20 fucking degrees colder in Iowa City. Like, it never fails.
Yeah.
And always windy.
Always windy.
So that
It's a
could,
miserable place to play.
yeah. And if we're not going to have fucking the kicker, what's his name? Why did I just lose his name?
Alvano.
Because that fucking kid they got now, he can't hit the broadside of the barn without the wind.
Well, the first one was bad, but Alvano also shanked his first one of the year.
But they say how long he's out. It's like his hernia acted up again or something.
I have no idea.
Because if somebody had a hernia surgery and they thought his recovery would be faster.
Who do you think should be our starting running back? And I'm not going to say who I think it is until you do, because I don't want to.
I don't really have a.
I think Emmett Johnson should be our starting running back. I do not know why he's not. He is averaging like 6 or 8 yards a carry. Like, every time he touches the ball, something good happens.
Yeah.
He can make people miss, right? That's another thing about our offensive line. Like, you can say, oh, the offensive line was really good during X. Like, Amir Abdullah was an eraser, right? Like, if one person on the offensive line missed their thing, Amir could make that one guy miss. Makes your offensive line look good. When your running back can't make anybody miss, like, can't make a miss in the backfield on a miss assignment or whatever, it makes your offensive line look bad. And when Emmett's in there, I don't know what the difference is. We have no rushing yards in the first half against Purdue. And that wasn't a jet sweep or a speed sweep. And then all of a sudden Emmett gets in there and, we can run the fucking ball. Like, I just don't know why he doesn't play. I've been saying this since last year. Just give Emmett Johnson the ball. I know he's not big, but he runs big.
Yeah.
He always falls forward. He can make people miss, and he can hit the home run ball. I just don't know why he doesn't play more.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know some of that. If it's like I said, some of the offensive line stuff. I don't know if we don't have anybody better sometimes, or if it's like a loyalty to the people who've been there longer. I don't know. I don't understand.
I just don't think our offensive line's that bad. Like Dylan hasn't been sacked hardly at all. Like if you want to go
He got
back
sacked twice in the Purdue game or once?
once, but like
And
every
then he
sack.
had that monster sack in the Illinois game.
Okay, but
But that's just a learning thing. He'll learn to get rid of the ball.
right, and then also like they in overtime were 2 of the sacks in the Illinois game, and they just brought a ton of pressure. You know, like when they have more people coming than you have blocking, you're screwed. Like you have to figure out how to get rid of the ball quicker. That was a really good play call by Illinois. But if you have a really good offensive play call to counter that, that's also touchdown the other way. You know what I mean? Because if you're outmanned, if they're bringing more than you can block, then you have more out there that they can cover. You know what I mean? So like you just have to make the play call, and I just think we got off. But that like speed sweep to Barney, man, Barney's fast. I mean, we have a lot of speed, and we're playing a lot of freshmen. Like on offense and defense, there's a lot of freshmen playing. There's a lot of young people playing.
Yeah, because next year, I mean, I hope we have some depth at the line because all those guys are gone, except that freshman kid. And then, I mean, defense line the same way.
Yeah, we have. I'm not worried about defensive line. I can name our second and third string defensive line. Like they play all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, I just, yeah, like I said, and I'm not the only person that thinks there's an offensive line issue.
Well, everyone in Nebraska, unless it's freaking, you have all conference people on the offensive line, they think they're terrible. I mean, we've had a lot of players go to the NFL on terrible offensive lines.
I do think, I mean, the offensive line is more and more important, and you see it in the NFL now. Those guys are getting bigger paychecks now in the NFL too, the offensive linemen.
Once again, he's only had 2 recruiting classes.
I understand.
He has brought in transfers, like transfers that like Ben Scott was a transfer. I'm not 100% sure Rural brought him in or if he came in. But Ben Scott started at 2 other Power 5 teams.
Yeah, no, I just hope that there's some depth and there's some development coming there. Because the other thing is you got to keep, we have a great quarterback. You have to keep him healthy.
Yeah.
Not everybody's like Shedeur Sanders who can just take a fucking 20 sacks in a game because they don't want to have bad passing stats.
I think our pass pro is not bad. I do think our run blocking needs to be a little bit better, but I also think that we need a running back who can make somebody miss. Like you have to have a running back who can make.
That was always like that controversy with Emmitt Smith and Barry Sanders, and everybody's like, "Oh, if Barry Sanders had the same offensive line," but a lot of people would say that Barry might not have ran great. He liked to make his own way. He wouldn't follow the holes a lot. He'd make his own way.
No.
Walter Payton did a lot of the same thing. They just make their own way.
Well, it's kind of like a zone running scheme. You kind of block an area and then let them find a crease.
Yeah.
You know
Whereas
what I mean?
Emmitt was very much a hole hitter.
Yep. And that's what Dowdell is. Dowdell's a hole hitter. If you like if you give him a hole, he's running through it. He's running through it hard and fast. You know what I mean? But sometimes you have to make somebody miss. And I think that's where like I don't get on the offensive line as much because a lot of times you have a free runner. Like just with defensive schemes and with offensive schemes. Like if I'm going to pull a guard, right, to be a lead blocker, well, someone's coming through that hole. You know, someone could potentially be coming through where I just vacated. Mm-hmm. So, like, if you have someone coming through there, that's where the running back has to make one person miss. Like, their job is to make one person miss. I mean, I tell my flag football team, you got to make one person miss. I can't block. Like, not everyone can be blocked. So you have to make one miss and then go.
Yeah.
So, and that's what I think part of a lot of our problem on the running game is just not being able to make someone miss in the backfield.
So if Nebraska loses to Rutgers, are you still staying with 10-2?
I'm gonna stay with 10-2 until we have 3. I am just not that worried about Rutgers. I think Shiano's a great coach. I think Rutgers is a tough team. I think it's
going to be a good game. That's what I'm saying. I think it's going to be a 3-point game.
I don't think it's going to be a 3-point game. I mean, I think Washington should have killed them last week. Like, it should not have been close. I think they got look up the yards. I think it was double yards.
Washington and Rutgers.
Yeah.
Week 5.
Like box score.
Team stats.
Yeah. I think Washington over 500 yards of offense. Which just tells you how.
But passing, they had 314 to Rutgers 115. Rushing, they had 207 to Rutgers 184.
So, like, almost 2 to 1.
Pretty close.
Yeah. They didn't have any turnovers. I don't think Washington had any turnovers, but they missed 3 field goals and they outgained them and kind of beat them the entire game. They just couldn't score points. Which, yes, you have to be able to put the ball in the end zone. You got to be able to get points. Yes, if we don't have a kicker, hopefully we're going for it on 4th down.
Well, and hopefully we're on the positive side of the field to go for it on 4th down.
Yeah.
Because we can't go from the opposite side of the field.
Yeah, around the 50. I think if you cross the 50, make it 4 downs.
Just got to find a kicker like fucking Dallas has got, man. Just put them fucking...
Freaking Aubrey is good.
Brandon Aubrey fucking 65-yarders, just...
Man.
But then he misses a 51. What a loser.
What I know. That's what's funny is like when you have a really good kicker and they miss one from over 50, you're like, well, damn, you suck. It's like, that's a
well, they asked him
50-yard
if he
field.
trained for those, and he said when he practices, he doesn't usually go past like 55 or something like that.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't want to start changing his kicking style for...
Well,
those
you
longer.
golf. You golf. You know what I mean? When you change your swing trying to crush one,
Yeah.
it doesn't always work out that
Yeah,
way.
that goes to shit. But
Yeah.
all right, the picks are in.
Do you have a year tally? I just want to know how bad I'm
I
being.
have not done a year tally.
You want me to do it for you? I think I have.
We'll wait till the end of the year, Gabo.
I think we should have one running.
Well, that's all. I have the paper.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't need to have a running. I'm sorry, I'm a fucking risk taker over here, and I picked an upset team that I should have fucking won that one.
I
Those
beat you.
referees fucked me on that deal.
I beat you by 5 games in like week 3.
I don't know about that, but all right. Let us know what you guys think about our picks. Like, subscribe, share, follow.
Still 10-2.
Tanner's still saying 10-2. I am a Nebraska fan. I'm still saying 6-6 bowl game.
Gee,
But a bowl
6
game
and
win,
6.
a bowl game win does not count towards your fucking
I know.
7 wins.
It doesn't.
Okay.
No, it absolutely does not.
I should have said conference wins. I really fucked that bet up.
So we're 4-1, and you have us going 5-1 because you just picked Nebraska. So you think out of Indiana?
Dude, here's
Hold on. You think out of Indiana, Ohio State, UCLA, USC, Iowa, and Wisconsin that we're only going to win one more of those 6 games?
Here's how this goes. I said, I think Nebraska can win. Am I saying 100% that I know Nebraska's going to win?
So if Nebraska wins this weekend and they're 5-1, you're saying still, I mean, you're talking
They're
shit
going to
about
beat
my pick.
UCLA, and that's it.
They're not beating Wisconsin, who you already said was terrible.
But Wisconsin always plays Nebraska hard. Always.
So
And I also told you when we made this bet, I said, I hope I lose.
yeah.
I did say that. I said, I hope I lose this bet, the 7 wins. But I think 6-6 bowl game.
Bullshit.
What?
That is not good. It would be way better than 6-6.
That's great. If they go 10-2, that'd be fantastic.
10-2.
I'd be all about it. I'm not going to be like, oh, man, I can't believe they fucking went 10-2.
You'll probably talk shit.
No. Dude, stems back from the couple of decades of Nebraska, and I'm a Cowboys fan. Cowboys should have like 40 Super Bowls on
How old
paper.
are you?
How old am I? 42.
You weren't a Husker fan in the 90s, though, were you? Yeah, that's part of my problem is like my formative high school years.
I got my season tickets. When we had our season tickets, I got them when like Pelini was coaching.
My formative high school years were 94. Like I graduated in 97. So 94, 95, 97. Like, you know, when you're...
Well, I became a Cowboys fan because I had no team and I was young. You know what I mean? When they won their first Super Bowl.
I was joking with a kid who he's 21, so he's never seen Nebraska be good.
Yep.
And I was like, Nebraska Furniture Mart used to like run a like
You got
a
to keep the big screen TV or something, didn't you?
yeah free TV if they went undefeated.
Yeah.
Right. Like. And there was a big controversy on like national title when they split it with Michigan. I think it was like, well, do you get the TV or do you not get the TV? You know,
Yeah, which that was a joke anyway. They should have not had to split that.
no.
But yeah, so this is just inside of me is instilled that it's like I've watched the Cowboys be paper champions multiple times with all the talent in the world
Yeah.
and not win.
Well, I mean, the Cowboys won quite a few Super Bowls.
They did, which is always funny because they'll be like, oh, the Cowboys haven't won a Super Bowl since '97. I'm like, okay, how about all the teams who've never won a Super Bowl?
Yeah.
Or how about
The Chiefs have just won a Super Bowl.
the 49ers who won the year before Dallas did? Now, granted, they've been, but they didn't win.
Right.
You know what I mean? It really doesn't matter if you go if you don't win.
Yeah. I mean, you were talking shit when the Chiefs won their first Super Bowl that they hadn't won one since the second one. So,
Yeah, that was a long time. I saw that Super Bowl trophy when I was down there. I went to the Cowboys-Chiefs game, and that's when I realized that Chiefs fans are terrible human beings.
Well, all fans are terrible human beings.
So, but yeah.
Wisconsin fans are terrible human beings.
I haven't been. I haven't been to out of Lincoln, Nebraska game.
Oh, I've been.
I heard wasn't Missouri? Weren't they terrible fans?
Oh, Missouri's horrible.
I'd always heard they were just awful.
Missouri's horrible. K-State, A&M fans are pretty good. A&M fans are fun. That was a fun game that I went to there. It was actually one of the road games that we won. Ohio State fans were actually really cool.
You know, has nice fan. The only games that Amber and I have gone out. We've gone to Cowboys games, and we've been to Dallas, KC, and Minnesota.
Okay.
Vikings fans are super fucking nice people.
Yeah.
They are just like over the fucking top nice people. Because yeah, we were obviously sitting. One of my clients had Viking season tickets, and we were which there was a decent amount of Cowboys fans there too, obviously, but super nice. Like no shit talking, which Cowboys won the game anyway, but. Yeah.
We went to the Vikings game after Minnesota Nebraska game that we lost. And they had like a sausage. It was like a hot dog type thing wrapped in a burger, wrapped in bacon, and then they fried it and put it in a bun. That thing was fucking good.
That was awesome.
That was really like I came back. I went down to grab food, came back, and the other three guys I was with were like, "What the hell is that?" And they all just got up and we left.
We're gonna find out.
We're going to find out.
All right, guys. That's what we got. Let us know what you think.
Go Big Red. 10-2.
I hope so.
Wonder if anyone agrees with me. I mean, from your Jim poll, everyone thinks I'm an idiot when I talk about Nebraska going 10-2.
I talked to a buddy of mine today. He called me about some barbecue things, and he always listens to the podcast. And he goes, "Me and another guy on the job site, we're kind of like Tanner," but he goes, "But I see where you're coming from."
Yeah. There we go. Well,
and
I like him.
And he picked Nebraska. What did he say? 21-28 or something like that. But he said if we have to win by a field goal, we probably won't.
No, I feel the field goal kicking does worry me. I just don't think it's going to matter in this game.
Yeah. Well, I hope Nebraska wins.
No, you don't.
I do.
I honestly think you want them to go 6-6, so you don't have to pay me.
I don't care about paying you. That doesn't matter.
No, but you don't want to lose a bet to me. It's not about money. It could be $1. It has nothing to do with the money.
No, I don't care. I've lost bets before. It's fine.
Yeah.
But all right, guys. Thanks for listening. Like, subscribe, share, follow. Let us know what you think. Let us know what you want to hear. And we'll see you next time.